How to fix Logitech F710 input lag in eSports FC26. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are addressing a highly frustrating input lag issue, specifically affecting the Logitech F710 wireless controller when playing EA Sports FC26 on Windows 11. During our testing, we noticed that even when sitting right next to the PC case, players experience sudden severe latency, analog stick dropouts, and stuck inputs that completely ruin the gameplay experience. Many assume this is a battery issue, but even after swapping to fresh, high-quality Duracell batteries, the phantom lag spikes can continue unabated. Our team investigated this chronic detection problem and found that environmental interference and receiver distance play massive roles in this controller's performance. We have compiled a massive, deep-dive troubleshooting guide to permanently stabilize your connection and eliminate input delay. Let us dive right into the solutions. Deploy the factory USB extension cable. We discovered that simply plugging the Nano receiver directly into the motherboard panel creates massive signal interference. To resolve this, you must use the original USB extension cable included in the controller box. Connecting the receiver to this extension isolates it from the electromagnetic noise generated by your PC case. Optimize the wireless receiver placement. Even if you are sitting at desk distance, this device has a known chronic issue with weak signal detection. Our team confirmed that bringing the receiver on the extension cable as close to the controller as possible completely eliminates the latency. Placing it directly in your lap or right on the desk edge next to your hands guarantees an uninterrupted signal for perfect gameplay. Switch to a dedicated USB 2.0 port. High-speed USB 3.0 ports are notorious for emitting radio frequency interference in the 2.4 GHz band, which directly disrupts wireless receivers. We recommend plugging the extension cable exclusively into a black USB 2.0 port on the back of your motherboard. This simple port swap dramatically reduces signal noise and stabilizes your inputs during intense matches. Disable USB Selective, Suspend in Power Options. Windows 11 utilizes aggressive power management features that can momentarily cut power to your USB ports, causing sudden stuck buttons or analog stick failures. Navigate to your active power plan settings within the control panel and expand the USB settings tree. You must completely disable the Selective Suspend feature to ensure constant, uninterrupted voltage to the receiver. Modify Device Manager Power Management. Beyond the global power plan, Windows individually manages power for each root hub. Open the Device Manager, expand the Universal Serial Bus Controller section, and right-click on your USB root hubs. Under the Power Management tab, uncheck the box that allows the computer to turn off the device to save power. Utilize the Physical XInput toggle switch. The back of your controller features a physical switch that toggles between direct input and XInput modes. EA Sports FC26 requires the modern XInput standard to accurately read button presses without emulation lag. Ensure this physical switch is firmly pushed into the X position before launching the game. Reinstall default controller drivers. Sometimes, corrupted driver cache files can cause severe delayed reactions during gameplay. Open the Device Manager, locate the wireless controller under Human Interface Devices, and completely uninstall the device. Unplug the receiver, restart your computer, and plug it back into Force Windows to pull a fresh driver installation. Force the Xbox 360 controller driver. If the native driver continues to drop inputs, overriding it with the Microsoft Xbox 360 driver provides rock-solid stability. In Device Manager, choose to update the driver manually and pick from a list of available drivers on your computer. Select the Xbox 360 peripherals category and install the standard Xbox 360 controller for Windows driver. Disable Steam input interference. If you are launching the game through Steam, its built-in controller wrapper can conflict with the native EA app inputs, causing double registrations and massive delay. Right-click the game in your Steam library, open Properties, navigate to the Controller tab, and select Disable Steam Input. This allows the game engine to read your hardware directly without translation latency. Launch EA app as administrator. Permission restrictions in Windows can throttle background input polling rates, leading to sluggish player movements on the pitch. Completely close the EA app, right-click its desktop shortcut, and select Run as administrator. Elevated privileges ensure the launcher has unrestricted access to hardware polling protocols. Clear the EA app cache data. A bloated or corrupted launcher cache can cause background processing spikes that interrupt your gameplay sessions. Open the EA app settings, navigate to the Help menu, select App Recovery, and execute the Clear Cache command. This removes conflicting temporary files and restores optimal launcher performance. Repair game installation files. Corrupted configuration files within the game directory often manifest as ignored controller commands during matches. Locate EA Sports FC26 in your library, access the Manage menu, and initiate the repair process. The system will verify the integrity of your local files and replace any damaged data blocks. Adjust in-game controller dead zones. Sometimes what feels like input lag is actually an excessively high analog stick dead zone configured within the game settings. Navigate to the in-game controller customization menu and lower the analog stick dead zones to register minute movements instantly. This creates a much more responsive and snappy dribbling experience. Mitigate router and Wi-Fi interference. Wireless home routers broadcasting on the 2.4 GHz frequency directly overlap with the controller communication band. At Teknobalta, we recommend moving your Wi-Fi router at least 3 feet away from your gaming rig. Alternatively, switching your mobile devices to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi band clears the airspace for your controller. Isolate USB bandwidth traffic. Saturating your USB controller chip with heavy data transfers, like external hard drives or high-polling webcams, can choke the input data. Unplug unnecessary high-bandwidth USB devices while playing competitive matches. Giving the wireless receiver an uncontested data pathway drastically reduces millisecond response times. Calibrate the analog sticks. Windows may have an incorrect internal centering value for your analog sticks, causing you to fight against invisible drift or delayed axis detection. Press the Windows key, type joy.cpl, and hit Enter to open the game controller's menu. Access the properties for your device, navigate to the Settings tab, and run the complete calibration wizard. Elevate game process priority. When the CPU prioritizes background tasks, the game engine can drop frames and miss input polls simultaneously. Open the Task Manager while the game is running, navigate to the Details tab, and locate the game executable. Right-click the process, set the priority to High, and confirm the change to dedicate maximum processing power to the active window. Disable background polling applications. Hardware monitoring software and RGB control hubs constantly poll your USB devices, which can cause micro-stutters in controller inputs. Completely shut down applications like MSI Afterburner, Corsair ICUE, or Razer Synapse from the system tray before launching the game. A clean background environment ensures pure input transmission. Run a system file checker verification. Corrupted core Windows dynamic link libraries can severely impact universal device connectivity and general system health. Open the command prompt as an administrator and type sfc/scano to initiate a comprehensive system integrity check. This universal maintenance step automatically repairs fundamental operating system files that manage hardware communication. Update dedicated graphics card drivers. What is often perceived as input lag can actually be rendering latency caused by outdated display drivers. Use AMD Adrenalin or NVIDIA GeForce Experience to perform a clean installation of the absolute latest graphics drivers available. Keeping your GPU software current guarantees the lowest possible render latency, making your controller inputs feel instantaneous. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.